It's the long-awaited video of the 1974 AMC Matador Coupe that I picked up last November at an estate sale. So we're going to start off, we're going to do some footage of me getting the car when I found it, a little bit of footage of getting the car running, and then I'm going to go into some footage of where the car is now and talk about what I've done to the car to get it to the point it's at right now. Just a nice little video since there's really nothing going on this weekend since we're almost at the holidays. But without further ado, let's go get started. All right, I'm out here in Arleta, California. I went to an estate sale last Tuesday and I wound up buying this. It's a 1974 AMC Matador Coupe. So these guys are actually getting a Saturn out of here that was in this lot, and there was a few other cars. There was a couple El Caminos, but they're already gone. And there's another one I'm trying to buy, but I think the keys might have got lost at the estate sale because people were going through stuff. Because I paid in full for the car and took the keys with me because I saw that was going to happen with this one. Let's go check it out though. I'm going to do a quick walk around of the car, just show you what's going on with it. It's got 76,000 miles on it. It's been parked for probably a million years. It's got patina for days. And you can see she just has surface rust everywhere. It's body-wise, it's actually in really nice condition. And I'll pop the hood in a minute. It's actually got the 360 V8, which a lot of these had 304 V8 or a straight 6. And they were available the 401, but those are kind of hard to come by. So this one's actually the Brougham model. I'm not sure if it had a vinyl top. There's a little bit of where the lead separation is. It's coming off, so that's going to have to be attended to. But overall, it's a very solid car. Has Nevada plates on it. It was originally from California because it has California emissions, and there is an old sticker from AAA of Southern California on the windshield. But so this is going to be a neat project. That's pretty much where the only rust I've found so far is. I haven't looked under the car. See, it's got an old AAA sticker. And we'll be pulling this guy out of here and hopefully get it running and getting it back on the road. All right, so I got the hood open. So you can see it's got a 360 V8 and it looks like it was just parked here and just left. So it's actually a power steering, power brake car with factory air conditioning. It's like they just disconnected the battery and left everything. It's got oil in it. It's got water in it. I'm not sure how long it's been sitting because the last tag on the plate isn't visible. But it's kind of neat to find a factory, with one of the bigger V8s on one of these cars. And the engine does turn by hand, so I will be getting it going. 3 of the tires were already aired up. One of them, I brought my pump and it held a little bit of air, so we'll see what happens there. If not, I've got a spare from the pacer to put on it. So right now I got to get this thing going. I got to get this out of here this morning. All right, so the car is loaded. I have a policy of not showing you 20 minutes of loading a car, unlike some channels on YouTube where they seem to like those 20-minute loading a car montages. It's loaded. I'm ready to take it back to the house. I bent up the front plate, unfortunately, getting it on the trailer, but we're going to have to get some California plates for it anyway, so let's go. And we're almost there. I think the carb needs to come out and get rebuilt. He shoots, he scores, it's idling. All right, we're not leaking anything either. And let's see if there's anything coming out the bucket. Nope, yet. All right, so it's idling now. It doesn't, when you give it gas, it dies. So I'm guessing the accelerator pump shot. It actually looks like there's a little bit of leaking coming out of there. I'm gonna have to order a carburetor kit for this one and go from there. Fortunately, it looks like it's just a Ford Autolite, Motorcraft, whatever, 2-barrel. Pretty simple carb. It's running. So far, it's pumping a little bit of gas. The gas doesn't look terrible. That's coming out of the fuel tank. So I'm guessing the tank might be clean. And just judging from what's coming out of that tank, I mean, that's a brand new Home Depot bucket. So I'm happy there. I'm sure that stuff's not really flammable anymore, but at least we know the fuel pump's working. We know it's taking gas. We know it's idling. Carburetor's going to definitely need to be done. And we can go from there. I already filed the points. All right, so now we're going to go into where the car is at this moment. As you can see, I did get it registered. In fact, I was able to get these really amazing personalized license plates. Now, I have taken the car to Mopar Spring Fling and Fall Fling because they do allow American Motors products into those shows. You can see I added some vintage slot mags. These are actually on the 64 Ranchero, if you remember that from the channel. I actually kept these when I sold the car, and then I put some white letter tires on it just to give it that nice 70s vibe. So the interior's just been cleaned up. These windows roll down. I tried to roll it down and then the regulator broke, so I've got a suction cup holding it. If you look, the seats were redone. Of course, that's coming up. You can see the original is actually underneath there. Gas gauge comes up a little bit, but I put a little note on the dash, so in the last 3 digits when I last filled it. I added some vintage Keep On Truckin' floor mats that I had just to complete that 70s vibe. This was a vinyl top car. Fortunately, they pulled it off. Unfortunately, on my Impala, they did not, so that probably definitely did save this car. I do have the Brougham badge for the other side. Still left the trailer hitch on. Everyone's telling me to take the bumpers off because they do look better without the bumpers. Have not done that yet. I added a I Love Yacht Rock sticker just for the maximum in 70s-ness. But I'm pretty much just going to leave it all patinaed. I don't have a whole lot of money in this car. It's just kind of a fun little car to run around. People don't know what it is since it has kind of like that muscle car aesthetic, but not like a Chevelle or Nova or anything that you see a lot of. All right, so one thing I did do, all the brakes have been done on the car. I did replace the water pump. The original one actually wasn't even that bad. Like now it actually got some moisture in here since, but it wasn't that bad, but I kept it just in case as a backup. But I did put a new one on. I took the rubber mat out of the trunk, and it's actually not rusty. I have not found any rust in this car other than the passenger side fender, so that's good. There was a lot of there was jacks and jack stands which were brand new in the box, which was kind of like a nice bonus on this car. All right, so under the hood, I mean, basically new battery, new voltage regulator. I didn't even have to replace the alternator. Obviously all new belts, hoses. I said new water pump. Got the radiator record. These are a Matador Coupe only radiator. The sedan and wagon apparently use a different radiator, so had to get it record. Obviously new master cylinder. It's got new front rotors, all new front brakes. I rebuilt the carburetor, just did new gaskets, power valve, accelerator pump, things like that. I haven't even touched, other than filing the points. It still has the same spark plugs and wires and everything. It actually runs fine. You can see it's got all new hoses on it. So a lot of that stuff's been done. A lot of the gaskets are replaced so it doesn't leak. Just enough to get it on the road. I think in the next thing I need to do is go into the suspension stuff, since it is a little rattly when you go over bumps. But it's just been kind of like a fun project car that's come back to life. Story I got it on it was that the people that had it, they were the original owners. The wife got too old to drive about 20 years prior, and then the car just got parked, which I believe because this thing really came back to life, didn't really put up too much of a fight. I'm not even going to try to fake it, for YouTube, to be like, oh, this was such a hard car to get back on the road. Pretty straightforward, all your usual stuff you do on a car when it's been sitting, but that's kind of where we're at. And I'll do a little shot of me. I'll start the car up and you can hear it run. So you can hear it runs, it idles. Sounds really good. All right, so that's it. That's the 1974 AMC Matador. My plans for the car were to use it on a Lemons rally, but there's no West Coast California Lemons rally this year. Maybe in future years it gives me more time to get everything dialed in on it, although it runs pretty good the way I got it right now. I'm just going to drive it around as is. I don't know if it'll eventually get restored. It's not really a high dollar car. but then again, I don't really have a lot of money in it. Probably the biggest expenditure was the windshield, which I got from a guy in Phoenix who actually had 10 windshields made. So the windshield's brand new. It's not even a original one. It's a brand new one that some guy had made. So that was probably the biggest expenditure on the car. So let me know what you think. What should I do with this car? I'm going to just cruise it around for now. Eventually, maybe it'll get restored. I don't know. Obviously, I've got other projects to get to, such as the Impala and the 40 Ford, but we'll get to those in the future. Next week, I don't know what I'm doing on Christmas weekend. I might try to hit, like, if there's a Cars and Coffee or anything. Weekend after that, we got Holiday Motor Excursion. Going into January, we got Long Beach Swap Meet, Pomona Swap Meet, and then, of course, on the 28th, I've got the Moon Eye Show at Irwindale. So lots of great events coming up here on the channel. Just thought I'd bring you finally the footage of when I found this car. So until next time, I'll be seeing you.